Northern California, Kansas, Texas. Howdy. All right. I've never been to Kansas before, but I have been to Texas. Hey, Nola girl, thank you for sharing the live. Highly appreciated. Hey, Bergman, thank you for that comment there. Hey, Eastside Phoenix, that's right. Corn Dog 602. All right, they turned on the mic, so things are about to start moving. We got Utah. Jerry, thank you for the follow. It's free 99. Doesn't cost you anything, and don't be a Krabby Patty. All rise. Listen.
Thank you. You guys may be seated. Good evening. This is the time set for the 11 p.m. calendar on January 27th, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. I'll call you each one at a time to the podium, and I'll provide a second name to sit in the chair right outside of this room. If we can have Kevin Lamert to the podium and John Harris to the chair. Good evening, sir. Can I get your name and date of birth?
My name is Kayvon Beamer, and my date of birth is December 31st, 06.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like we're here on a new Superior Court case.
Yes,
it does include one count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, one count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Okay.
I'm going to give you some hearings in the downtown Superior Courthouse. You're going to have a status conference on February 3rd at 8:30 and an evidentiary hearing on February 3rd at 1:30 in the afternoon and a preliminary hearing on February 5th at 8:30 in the morning. It looks like you were out on release on another felony charges when you picked up these new charges. And because of that, you are being held non-bondable. So what that means is that hearing on February 3rd at 1:30 in the afternoon, that's the time set for you and your attorney to present evidence to the court to determine if a bond should be set in this case. The dates, times, and locations of those hearings will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions for me?
Yes, ma'am. Am I being released today or no?
So you will not be released because you were out on felony release for those other charges. You will remain in custody until at least February 3rd at 1:30 in the afternoon. It's after that hearing that you will find out whether or not a bond will be set.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Just step to your left. They'll give you your paperwork.
Hey, Britt, what's
John Harris to the podium.
What's C5?
And Armida Villarreal to the chair.
No Nintendo. I don't know what C5 is. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because if it's bad, I don't want nothing to do with it. Next.
Good evening. Could I get your name and date of birth?
John Harris, 1984. March 31st, 1984.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like we're here for a warrant coming out of the Flagstaff Municipal Court. It looks like it does relate to a pre-adjudication warrant. It looks like maybe you failed to appear at a hearing. It does relate to a charge of aggravated assault. I am going to appoint counsel in that case and give you a hearing in the Flagstaff Justice Court, and that's on January 30th at 8:30 a.m. They have indicated that they do want to extradite you back to Flagstaff for that hearing. They also have set a secured appearance bond in this case of $50,000. If you post that bond, you'll be released with written conditions, and you'll need to ensure that you attend that hearing in the Flagstaff Justice Court. Date, time, and location will be in your paperwork. If bond isn't posted, you'll remain in custody for that hearing. Did you have any questions, sir?
Is that a felony or a misdemeanor?
Let me see if they put on here. Sometimes we get limited information.
Good question. Good question there. Felony. I'm guessing it was a felony.
They don't have it listed because they don't have the full Flagstaff file, and they don't list whether or not they're charging it as a felony or a misdemeanor. So unfortunately, I'm not 100% sure on how they're going. Typically in a municipal court, it's typically misdemeanors, but I can't guarantee that. Your counsel will be able to give you the formal complaint when you meet with them.
So how long am I staying here?
I'm sorry?
How long am I staying here?
So if you post bond, you'll be released. If you don't post bond, then your next hearing is scheduled for January 30th, and at that time, the court that you will be seeing in Flagstaff could determine whether or not they're going to lower that bond if it hasn't been posted.
When are they taking me to Flagstaff?
So after this hearing, we'll let Flagstaff know that you've seen the judge, you've been given your bond, and that you're ready to be picked up, and then they should come get you. I don't have a time frame on when that should happen, but
They coming to get me for a misdemeanor?
they've indicated they will extradite you. We did contact them once this warrant was found, and they said that they would extradite you from Maricopa County. Let's see.
It's a felony.
You know that was just a BB gun, right?
I actually don't have any information on the case. Like I said, because it's coming from another county, we just get what's called a teletype information from them. And so I don't have any of the facts or background surrounding your case. The judge up there will have that information.
The police officer put a real gun on the paper.
It does say simulated use of a simulated deadly weapon, so...
But they dropped it down to a misdemeanor because they saw it was a BB gun. He put a real gun on the paper. It was just a BB gun.
Okay.
Judge don't care.
So they're doing all this over a BB gun?
We did confirm, and they did say they would extradite you.
All right.
Okay. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork.
Welcome to America.
Armida Villarreal to the podium and Pharaoh Crossland to the chair.
He's going to go to Flagstaff. Hey, he could stop off at Lake Havasu, right?
Good evening,
They don't
ma'am.
care,
Could I get your name and date of birth?
Armida Alicia Villarreal, 41291.
Thank you, ma'am. And it does look like we have two cases on the calendar, and it looks like they're both probation violation warrants. They've alleged that you violated terms 6, 7, 11, 12, and 21 in each of your probation cases.
Damn,
I'm going to appoint counsel to represent you in each of those cases and set a probation revocation hearing on February 3rd at 8:30. That does apply to both of your cases. In your first case, you have a secured appearance bond of $5,000. In the second case, it's $750. So between the two, it's a secured appearance bond of $5,750. It is secured, meaning you can use a bail bonding company. If you do post that bond, you have written conditions of release, and it does include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. The date and time and location of that hearing will be included in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
I'm going to be released today. I have to post bond.
You would have to post the bond in order to be released. Okay?
I'm fine.
Thank you, ma'am. If
Mama
you'll
Bear,
let
yeah.
them give you your paperwork.
I don't think they have to sign
Pharaoh
one.
Crossland to the podium and Yesenia Figueroa to the chair.
But I've never been extradited, so don't take my word for it.
Good evening. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Cheryl Crossland, 11604.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like we're here on a new Superior Court case.
Can't even see
And
his
it does
face.
include one count of unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle, a Class 5 felony, and one count of reckless driving, a Class 2 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. I'm going to give you some hearings in the downtown Superior Courthouse. You have a status conference on February 3rd at 8:30. And a preliminary hearing on February 5th at 8:30. In this case, you have a secured appearance bond of $5,000. You can use a bail bonding company to post that. If you do post that bond, you have written conditions of release. The dates and times of those hearings and the location will be included in your paperwork. If you fail to appear at that, they will issue a warrant and you will risk forfeiture of any bonds you do post. Did you have any questions?
They said I got two. I was waiting till the next one.
I'm so sorry?
They said I got two,
Do you have other warrants or?
yeah, and I was here last time for a warrant, and I told the other judge how I'm supposed to go to court if I was in here. And we called when I got out. They told I had to send an email, which I sent the email. I'm just waiting for y'all to get back for the warrant.
Does he have a hold from somewhere else, officer? Phoenix? Okay. So I don't have access to Phoenix records if you have a hold with them. They hold their hearings at, I think, 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., so you'll likely see them at 10 a.m., and so you'll have to address that with them. The only thing I have is the new charges that you were picked up on just recently. Any warrants will be with the city of Phoenix.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you, sir.
For anybody that just stumbled in across
Yesenia Figueroa to
this
the podium
feed here,
and Marcus Ellis
and
to the
wondering
chair.
what's going on, we're doing a midnight screening of You're Gonna Go to Prison, Kiss Your ASS Goodbye, Adios Amigo. And
Good evening,
with
ma'am.
that,
Can I get your name and date of birth?
next.
Yesenia Figueroa, April 24th, 1990.
Thank you, ma'am. And it does look like you are here on one case. It's a failure to appear warrant. It looks like you missed a hearing. I'm going to go ahead and affirm the attorney that was previously appointed to represent you. And we're going to set a probation revocation hearing on February 3rd at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Courthouse on Jefferson. You have a secured appearance bond of $900. You can use the bail bonding company. If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release, and it does include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. Did you have any questions?
I can't be bondable at all. I mean, I can't get released at all today.
If you post the bond, you'll be released. If the bond isn't posted, you'll remain in custody until the February 3rd hearing. It is a probation revocation hearing, so they could have a disposition hearing and resolve the issues as it relates to your probation. If they don't, they could potentially change your bond at that time. But until then, they've set a bond of $900.
All right.
Okay? Thank you. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Marcus Ellis to the podium. And Arcadia Bean to the chair.
What do you mean by illegals? To what degree of illegals do you mean? Nah, it's these are citizens here.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Could I get your name and date of birth?
Marcus L. Ellis, 12/10/73.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like you're here on a probation violation warrant. They've alleged you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you and set a probation revocation hearing on February 3rd at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Courthouse on Jefferson. You have a secured appearance bond in this case of $500. If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release, and it will include contacting your probation officer within 24 hours. Did you have any questions?
Yeah, because I was told that I violated because I didn't go to this class. I just completed Crossroads like 6 days ago. That's why I missed court. I did a 3-month course class there, program. And that's why I missed court, because I was doing IOP there. And I ended up leaving there for a situation, a family situation, and got arrested yesterday.
Thank you, Penny.
What it indicates is that you failed to report to the adult probation officer within 72 hours of release from the residential treatment, and you failed to provide prior approval before changing your residence. So those are the 2 reasons listed in
They came to Crossroads Red Mountain in Mesa. I had checked in there, and they came to Crossroads Red Mountain and seen me. My probation officer did. So she didn't know I checked in there, but then she came to see me and she said she squashed the warrant because I was doing the program at Crossroads.
There's nothing in the file indicating that anybody's petitioned the court to
her name is Medea, her probation officer. She came to see me in Mesa.
There's no petition to quash the warrant that's pending. The only thing that is in here was the petition to revoke probation, which was on January 14th. The warrant issued January 16th. So you'll have to discuss that with your attorney, because as of right now, there's been no petition or motion to quash any warrants. The warrant is still outstanding. So you will have to resolve that at your hearing on February 3rd at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
You're better off telling those stories
Ms.
to your
Bean to the podium and Mr. Arnold to the chair.
your new jail buddies.
Good evening. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Arcadia Bean, 11/14/84.
Thank you, ma'am. And it does look like you're here on a failure to appear warrant. It looks like you missed a hearing. I am going to affirm the previous attorney that was appointed to represent you and give you a status conference on February 6th at 8:30 a.m. in the downtown Superior Courthouse. I am affirming the secured appearance bond in the amount of $350. If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release. The date and time of that hearing will be included in your paperwork. If you miss that hearing, you'll incur another failure to appear warrant and forfeiture of any bonds you may post. Did you have any questions?
No.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Mr. Arnold to the podium and Mr. Jose Hernandez to the chair.
She'll be back. Next. And behind door number 2, let's see who we got coming up next. What do you guys think the next individual is going to be
Good evening.
here
Can I
for?
get your name and date of birth?
Oh, he's in orange.
Jonathan Arnold, November 1st, 1985.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like you're here on a warrant coming out of the University Lakes Justice Court. And it's for an offense date on January 24th, 2025 for 1 count of criminal trespass in the 2nd degree. I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you, and I'm going to set a hearing in the University Lakes Justice Court. That's an arraignment hearing on January 30th at 8:30 a.m. I am affirming the secured appearance bond in the amount of $200. If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release you need to comply with, and then you need to ensure you attend that hearing. Date, time, and location will be listed in the paperwork. It looks like you also have another bond. Looks like you were seen yesterday morning. So this would be in addition to the bond that you were given yesterday. Did you have any questions? Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork, sir. Mr. Hernandez to the podium and Mr. Campos to the chair.
Those are the breaks, my good man. Those are the breaks. Damn, no OR, not today. Hey, they let a lot of people out earlier on at the 8 o'clock one. They were giving everybody breaks, not
Good
tonight.
evening. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Oh, Samuel Hernandez, 3/20/1986.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like we're here on a new Superior Court case. It includes one count of facilitating shoplifting, a Class 4 felony, and one count of shoplifting concealment, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. You're going to have some hearings in the downtown Superior Courthouse. You have a status conference on February 11th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 13th at 8:30. I am going to release you today to pretrial services. When you get your paperwork, you're going to have written conditions of release you need to comply with. It will include not returning to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. It will also include an envelope with instructions for pretrial services. Make sure you read all the instructions and contact pretrial services once you've been released from custody. Did you have any questions?
No, that's
Okay.
it, man.
If you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork, sir.
That's right. Hey, get out of
Mr.
Dodge.
Campos to the podium
Get
and
out of
Ms.
the Dodge,
Alvarado
buddy.
to the chair.
Are these virtual? Virtually for us, yeah, but not for them. They're living it. Ay, ay, ay. Where's the toilet? Agua.
Hello, can I
Flush
get your
one.
name and date of birth?
Drop one, flush one.
Cabos, 5.85.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like we're here on a new Superior Court case. It does include one count of criminal trespass in the first degree, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. I'm going to give you some hearings in the downtown Superior Courthouse on Madison Street. You're going to have a status conference on February 11th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 13th at 8:30. I am releasing you today to pretrial services. Your paperwork will include written conditions of release. It will include not returning to the scene of the crime, no contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. It will also include an envelope with instructions. Make sure you read all the instructions and contact pretrial services once you've been released. Did you have any questions?
No bad.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Alvarado to the podium and Mr. Chambers to the chair.
Hey, when she says it's an envelope, little does he realize it's gonna be like a Mission Impossible, and he's set up for failure. He's gonna mess up the mission, violate probation, probably go to prison.
Good evening, ma'am. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Christina Maria Alvarado,
And your date of birth?
12/26/79.
Thank you, ma'am. And it does look like we're here on a new Superior Court case, and it does include one count of criminal trespass in the first degree, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference on February 11th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 13th at 8:30. I am going to release you today to pretrial services. Your paperwork will include written conditions of release that include not returning to the scene of the crime, no contact with any alleged victims, witnesses, or complainants. You'll also get an envelope with instructions for pretrial services. You'll need to read those instructions and contact them. Did you have any questions?
No.
Okay, so step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork.
All right, we're
Mr. Chambers to the podium and Mr. Stott to the chair.
we're back on our roll now. She's gonna start there. She's gonna start letting them out. Bring him out. Bring him out.
Good evening. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Anthony Grant Chambers, 12/15/91.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like you're here on a warrant coming out of the East Mesa Justice Court. Looks like it's for failure to pay some fines that you may owe them. Due to the nature of your charges, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel, but you can hire one at your own expense. I'm going to give you an arraignment hearing in the East Mesa Justice Court, and that'll be February 12th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
I am going to release you today on your own recognizance that you're promised to appear at that hearing.
Okay.
Your paperwork will include written conditions of release along with the date, time, and location of that hearing. Did you have any questions?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I do, so I'm getting out.
So you'll be released, and then you just need to make sure you attend that hearing on February 12th. If it is just a failure to pay, then you can work with them on getting a new payment
And that's in
arrangement.
Mesa?
Let's see. Yes, it's East Mesa. I think the location is the one off of Javelina. Yeah, it's 222 East Javelina Avenue, so that's off of like the 60 and McQueen, I think it is.
Okay.
But the exact address will be listed in your paperwork.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you your
Thank
paperwork.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, all these people getting on the
Mr.
street.
Stotts to the podium, and Mr. Luis Hernandez to the chair.
All these people hitting the streets makes me nervous, and I gotta start brushing my mustache. I get nervous. I gotta go ahead and start brushing it.
Good evening. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Alex Stokes, 102886.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like we have a new municipal court case, and it's coming out of the town of Wickenburg. Probable cause has been found, and I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. I'm going to set an arraignment hearing, and it will take place in the town of Wickenburg. And it'll be a hearing on February 12th at 9 a.m. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That's your promise to appear. You're going to have written conditions of release, and I'm going to caution you to read those very carefully because of the nature of your charge. You're not going to be able to have uninvited contact with the alleged victim. So, again, just make sure you read it. If the victim consents to you returning to the home, then you can, but if there is no consent, then you will have to find a temporary residence. And the victim can also revoke that consent while this case is pending. Did you have any questions?
No, thank
Okay. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork.
Is this
Luis
domestic?
Hernandez to the podium and
Is this domestic
Ms.
violence?
Smith to the chair.
Huh. Interesting. Like my wife would say when I tell her something, she doesn't believe me.
Good evening. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Luis Manuel Hernandez, 0110-2000.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like you have 5 cases on the calendar here. The first one comes in as a new Superior Court case, and it includes 1 count of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. For the new charges, you're going to have a status conference on February 11th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 13th at 8:30. It looks like you're also on probation in 4 cases. And so when you were picked up for these new charges, that is a violation of Term 1 of your probation. So I'm going to appoint counsel in your probation cases and set a probation revocation hearing on February 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. I am releasing you today on your own recognizance. That's your promise to appear at those 3 hearings.
We're all
Date,
wrong on
times,
that one.
locations will be listed in your paperwork. There will also be written conditions of release, and that will include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. Did you have any questions?
What the what?
No,
Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Thank you, sir.
Damn! You get a car.
Ms.
You
Smith
get
to
a
the
car.
podium.
Free, 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 free. Everybody's going home tonight. That's it.
Hello, can I get your name and date of birth?
Yeah, SoCal Smith, 04/29/1994.
Thank you, ma'am. And it looks like we're here on a new justice case court coming out of the University Lakes Justice Court. And it's for 1 count of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, a Class 3 misdemeanor. Are you here on any other charges or any other holds?
Not that I know of.
Right. Take.
Yeah, you have a hold from,
This is Arizona,
There you go.
Maricopa
Tempe?
County.
Okay.
$500 bond.
What?
Okay. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to go ahead and appoint counsel to you. I'm going to give you a hearing in the University Lakes Justice Court, and that will be on January 30th at 8:30 a.m. And I'm going to set a $50 placeholder bond on this case to ensure that you'll be available, made available to go to that hearing, and if you'd be credit for any time served on your cases.
Okay, so I'm going to stay here?
So you'll have a $50 placeholder bond. If you post the bond, you'll be released, but that would be in conjunction with any bond that Tempe has on you.
Okay, so what am I doing from right here?
Can you ask your question again?
Okay, am I staying here tonight, or?
If you don't post the bonds for both cases, yes. If you do
Oh,
post
I won't be able to, so I'm staying here tonight.
Okay, then you'll stay in custody.
Okay.
Okay. And can we reprint that? If you'll take a seat outside, they'll bring you that paperwork in just a moment. Thank you, ma'am. Case number 15 through 19, Brian Willard, date of birth August 17th, 1964, will proceed as a house call due to danger to self directly after this recording. We are here on 5 warrants coming out of the Payson Justice Court, and they are all for 1 count of criminal trespass. Due to the nature of the charges, he is not entitled to court-appointed counsel, but he can hire one at his own expense. I'm going to set an arraignment hearing in the Pace and Justice Court on January 30th at 8:30 a.m., and that does apply to all 5 cases. I am releasing him today on his own recognizance along with written conditions of release. If anything changes after I meet with him, I will update the written record. We will now stand in recess until the 5 a.m. calendar.
Man, I wish there was more people incarcerated. That's pretty messed up that I said that, but that's it. It's it. Just like that. Just like it began, it's over now. We got to wait till tomorrow. But I'm going to be back nice and early. 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're in California, if you're somewhere else, I don't know, figure it out. Minus 1, 2, or 3 hours. Unless you're in Hawaii, then it might be 7. And if you're in Puerto Rico, it might be 4. So you do the math on that right there. Because my math is not mathing. If you haven't done so, please do so. Hit that follow button. It's free, 99. Does not cost you anything. Don't be a Krabby Patty. Don't be, what do I say? Don't be a Krabby Patty, and don't be a Uncle Scrooge. Nobody likes Uncle Scrooge. Don't be a codo. Don't be a tight ass. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. What's up? Obviously, there's 200 people in here. 224, 226. You guys are entertained. So hit that follow button. And also do me another favor. Check out my profile. Check out some of those videos. Repost the videos, and we could do the damn thing together. And you could say, man, I remember James, man, when he only had 17,000 subscribers. Now he has 1 million. That's what I'm talking about right here. We got to aim big. You know, I be seeing the youngsters. They be doing this TikTok, and I'm like, man, I'm 43. If they could do it, I could do it. So that's why I'm here. And you guys could make that happen. Yes, you could make that. You could make my dream happen, because it's my dream. Es mi sueño. Help me out. What's up? Do the damn thing. Anyhow, sharing is caring. Whenever you guys see me in the live, share it with your loved ones, with the ones you don't love. Shoot it to everybody. Let me see. I was looking them all up on Facebook. Hey, that's what's up. Hey, I like that. I like that right there, man. I wish I had 2 more hands so I could be doing more stuff, but I'm not a multitasker. I could only do one thing at a time, like I tell my wife. I got to focus on one thing, because my attention span is that of a squirrel. I'm easily distracted. So sometimes I look at the messages, then I'll look over here, bam, and I'll forget, and then I look over here, and it's a wrap. I'm trying to listen to their names. I'm trying to listen to what they're in for, but I just can't keep track because I'm not tracking. You know, I see a shiny light and vámonos. Next thing, I'm in that one fish's mouth, the one that has the little light hanging. You know, the one that is distracting you. Bam, and that's it. Let me see. That's why I rewatch the videos. Hey, yeah. Hey, you know what? Hey, for sure. I'm glad you mentioned that. For those of you that don't know, if you check over here in the top where it says all socials at CollectCallFrom, definitely check us out on YouTube. Buenas noches, Tita. I have different types of videos out there. You know, I do interviews with incarcerated individuals. I've done interviews with formerly incarcerated lifers in the California Department of Corrections. I've also been to Sentinel State Prison, and I've recorded people, you know, coming home. So I do I diversify when it comes to the prison genre, if you will. So I do a little bit of everything: video calls, phone calls, in-person interviews, and now I'm doing this. I'm doing the streaming of these court hearings. I also do board of parole hearings. So if you got a wife or a husband, brother, whatever, and you guys want to know what happens at these board of parole hearings, you know, you get that knowledge, and you might be able to help them out. Ritz is asking, is there another meeting soon? Nah, the next one's not until 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. For that one, it's 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll be knocked out on that one, but I'll be in for the, hey, shoot it, Carla. You got a question? Shoot it. That's why I'm here. You guys got any questions? I might have an answer. I don't guarantee an answer, but I'll try to answer your questions to the best of my ability here. Let me see. I'm going to interview the ones here in Arizona since I'm here for you. Hey, gracias. Highly appreciated. That's what I'm talking about. Teamwork makes the dream work. Let me see. Carla's asking, do you know? No, I do not. I have no idea who that is. No sé. You see, Junior says, I'm ready, awake since 3 a.m. Woo, you're prendido. Let me see here. Decline. trying to do no. I've never done a battle. I don't know what that consists of. No, gracias, Selena. Nah, no sé. I don't know. I work from 3 a.m. to 3:30. Damn, that's rough right there. That's a rough one. Let me see. Riz asked. She asked if you know if Yolanda. I don't know who that is. No sé. Yolanda. I don't know Yolanda. Was she here on the stream earlier on? No sé. I don't know. Yeah, I don't follow up on anybody. Like if you're asking me if anybody that comes on these streams, I don't keep track of it. After we jump off the stream, that's it. I'll put this behind me and on to the next video. I'm doing other stuff, but yeah, I don't keep track of them. Let me see. But these court cases keep me busy. That's right, Junior A. They keep me busy too, man. I hate to admit, I've been spending more time than I normally do on TikTok ever since I started doing these hearings. You guys, for whatever reason, find them interesting, and I'm gonna keep on providing them to you. Like I'm in New Jack City. Wait, it's over? Yeah, it was a short one today. It was a short one, but don't trip. They're gonna be filling up the paddy wagons tonight. So like that in the morning, they're gonna be bringing everybody, and everybody's gonna be dope sick, all dirty, not shaven, smelling like stuff that you never want to mix together. Let me see. AC, she was a celebrity case. Oh no, hold on. You seen the movie Selena? Yeah. I know she was. Yeah, I've seen the movie Selena. Is that the lady that off Selena? I don't know her name though. If that's her. You know what? Now that you mentioned that, was anybody here earlier on when the audio went out with that one girl? Okay, yeah. I don't know anything about her. I saw something on a video that she got out or something, but that's all I know. I don't know anything more than that. So, hey, what happened with that one girl? So somebody was saying that she was like famous or something, that she was a famous TikToker. Is there any truth to that? Because I didn't recognize her. I mean, I'm new to this TikTok, so I don't know who's who. Is that a dog? I can't make it out. Or is that a donkey? No sé. My eyes aren't too good. Those emojis are kind of little right there. Anyways, hey, Roxanne, thank you. Hey, have a good night. 5 cases, yikes. Let me see. A goat, Ching Gators. I don't know about all of that. Anyhow, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. Thumbs up, thumbs down. It don't matter. As long as you're pressing buttons on the screen, I appreciate you guys because you guys are here. You guys are listening to these journeys. Greatest of all time. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I am Collect Call James. You are watching. You have a collect call from. It lights like a candle. Once you blow it out, it lights out. And with that, we are out. A rato, and I'll be back tomorrow. And hey, don't forget, hit that follow button. It's free 99. Doesn't cost you anything. And if you guys like watching people that are incarcerated, check out my playlist for video visits. I got video visits from all over the world. And I'm not talking about like in LA. I'm talking about like the real world. Like the world is huge. Puerto Rico, El Salvador, Germany, Amsterdam, Spain, Barcelona, Malagal, all over the place. Check him out. All right. And with that, I'm out. Gracias y buenas noches. All right, guys, on YouTube, I'm gonna